welcome to Pure Joy Tarot. Today we're going to pick a pile reading, 1, 2 or 3, just to see what messages we need. So here is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, candle, shell, pine cone. If you can pick your intuition and not what these symbols mean, because I just put them on there. Okay, so I'll pause the video for you to choose pile 1, 2 or 3. Thank you. Hi, welcome to pile 1. So here we've got, you can see, an array of cards. Now the inner child card is Alice in Wonderland. So you will find there's a lot of change going on round about now. I do see here the Queen, because it's Alice in Wonderland on the merry-go-round, I'm really drawn to the Queen of Hearts. Now I think there's a person maybe in your life, pile 1, that's overseeing and overlooking yourself. So while you're changing in your life, going round and round, maybe in circles, there's an aspect where knowledge is on the cards, so to speak. So what that basically means is your inner child is trying to find an aspect to break free from restrictions. So if you're finding yourself being restricted quite significantly, there is change coming about that will allow you to be yourself. So it's also about newness in the change, about new births coming ahead in the aspect of self-love. So this change is a very positive change. Now we've got the animal elephant, and that's about family, it's about that love, it's about a special bond. Now it says open yourself to abundance, but the abundance of love, the spreading of joy and happiness emotionally between mother and child, between two people, between yourself is very important. Also with the believe in magic card here with the fairy, so when we actually believe in ourselves but believe in magic, the change can take place within ourselves, the change that's needed to go round and round, because here you've got past lives in this past lives, and also integration, which is very much Wheel of Fortune card as well, just going round and round, the balance. So the balance in family life has to be important as well. So when you're sifting through emotions, because you've got the death card here as well, so there is a lot of change going on for pile 1. It's when things collapse and sort of die off. This card here is telling you to believe, have that self-belief. Change will come for the better. This is why you've got the Justice card as well. So you'll find the change is a very good one. You may even have this person of male sort of dominance energy, but very quiet and sensitive. Could be a Piscean, to be fair. Wanting to give love, wanting to give that peace and harmony. So when you've got this change coming up, it's about accepting and giving. So I do feel this is a very important card for pile 1, because that self-love, that self-belief, when change and death, not death, but out with the old, in with the new, is very much there. So just having a look at what is changing, who is needed to be released and who needs to be coming through. This is why Justice card for pile 1 is very much in the forefront. So when you find you need justice, especially when it's these two cards are surrounding this King of Cups, what is this King of Cups doing in your life? It may be good, but it may be also a little bit of change may need to happen. So this is why the Wheel of Fortune is turning and turning. Sometimes we know when to get off this treadmill, and sometimes we don't. And that's why for Alice in this card, it's all about finding her own knowledge. Finding that knowledge that we can put our own magic on the situation, but also, do we believe what the King of Cups is about? What they're saying, how they're demonstrating themselves. So you could be looking at a relationship change, either coming in or going out. But is justice served to yourself or you think not? This is why the innerness of the change is what's going on in your heart, not their heart. So yeah, so believe in yourself, believe magic can happen when change takes place. So change is always a good aspect to have, especially when we come from our heart. So that's interesting, very interesting. However, when you look at sifting through knowledge, is it right for you? What are the emotions? Are you like the King of Cups and just drifting along? Or are you really holding dear the emotional attachment to yourself and the situation? So this is why death sometimes happens, to get rid of what's not needed. It's sifting through what's not needed. So the abundance that you can give to yourself, this little elephant is really having a playful time with its mum. So it's about spreading the joy, learning from the youngsters. We can learn a lot from the elder generation, but what are we learning from the new generation? And I think tapping into the magic is so important at the moment. So if you feel like you've been very responsible and an adult, now is a good time to relate to how we can have fun as a child, put the magic back into our life. And I think that's where the justice and the change is coming for yourself. So I wish you well with that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Welcome, pile 2. I think you've got a very special reading here. So first of all, with the inner child cards, you've got the Guardian of the Swords. I think this is so powerful that your spirit guide and higher self, and even greater powers than that, are really looking after you at the moment. So I can see it's like the protection around you is definitely needed just now for you to develop and grow significantly in areas where you do want to go, because there is a lot of change here. You've got the Tower, which is big change, and 5 of Cups, which is that disappointing factor on an emotional level, and that's why I think your guardian angel is particularly around you. And you've got the 3 of Swords. So those aspects, Tower, big change, 5 of Cups, that disappointment, and the 3 of Swords, that mental kind of draining. And I always see this card as an open heart. I mean, a broken heart can be an open heart. So I always say, have a good cry. And you've got the Shark here, which clears away the debris in the ocean. So it's like the clearing away of the old, which is given to you with the Tower, but you've got this huge protection going on, just guarding you, loving you, protecting you in everything. But mentally, it's about a precision now of how you're going to move forward. So clarity is definitely a thing to look at when emotionally you've let go of what you need to let go, having a good cry. There's an aspect here, 3, waiting for communication now, and also moving forward with things that are needed to move forward. So when change happens, it's a good thing. And here with the 5 of Cups is a bridge to be crossed over the river of emotion, to find that 2 of Cups, which is a more harmony card to have. Now the Fairy Oracle has given you nature's signs. It is amazing what we see within our environment. So this card particularly is looking about what's in your environment and changing it because of the Tower. So when we've got the Guardian of Swords, it's about putting into action thought patterns that need to go forward, not backwards. And this is why you've got the Tower, to change things. So when we keep on a cycle of thinking the same thing over and over again, it perhaps doesn't allow us to move forward. This is why emotionally one has to let go of that pain that you may have experienced. So having a good cry, releasing all those emotions, will give a sense of now I can wait for something new and move forward with more clarity. So being like the shark, clearing away all the debris and moving forward. So here's Archangel Michael giving you all that love that you can muster. Sorry, the computer went funny then. So with the Guardian of Swords, you can see here this beautiful flower that is completely open. So this stage that you're at when you listen to this is conquering what you need to conquer on a mental level to be able to move forward on the emotional level. So it's just about telling yourself that one thing. When you look at things in nature, especially with the Guardian of Swords, which this reading particularly is about your guardian angel, sometimes look for a feather. A feather will give you a sign in nature that you're on your right path. We know the world's given you this opportunity for change, and if today you go and look for that feather, you don't have to look, you just have to, it'll be there. It's giving you the right direction, that you are on your right path, even though today might be a little bit painful. So tap into that emotional aspect and just have a good cry to release all the negativity and the pain that you suffered, because he's there to protect your heart. So even asking for protection is a very good aspect today. So I wish you all the success in that. Alright, lots of love. Hi, welcome to pile 3. Probably the nicest out of all 3. So you did pick wisely. We have the inner child card of Cinderella, which, as we know, is a fantastic fairy tale. But here it signifies the moon. So all the illusions that have gone on before today about our life has been a bit of a mystery, not a mystery, but it has now come to a head, so to speak, to look at what's real and what's not real. Cinderella was always beautiful. She was always rich, and she always knew what she wanted. So just because she was in an environment where people told her she was worthless and no good was not true. So this is the illusion of your life. Whatever is going on a negative vein isn't true. So that's why I said it's good. So one has to believe in themselves to be able to have that glory. So this is why Cinderella did believe and she got a wish. So you will too. So with the fairy, we've got light. This is putting light into your situation. So when we have the moon here, which is all about borrowing light, the fairy of light will give light to your situation, therefore making things more real. I do fairy meditations, so check out the other playlists if you like, because this card is going to be a massive insight into what light is. But you've got it here on this pick a pile reading. So when you have your own light, you can shine outwards on everything. So being your own beacon of light is a good thing, because if we're full of love and light, we attract what we want to us. This is where Cinderella knew this, and she became the sun. She became her oneness to shine light for everyone else in a situation. So that's good. So the rabbit, the animal rabbit, is recognize your significance. So the rabbit is a very cuddly little creature, but also is family orientated and has the unicorn in this particular card, which is a spiritual animal. So he's bringing down what's needed on a higher plane. So if you can bring spiritual light into your life right now, as well as physical light, that's really, really good. So shining from your heart, bringing colour into your life is really, really good. So on these cards here, we've got the Queen of Wands, which could be yourself as a fire sign, or it could be the element that you're looking at to adopt when things are really hard to push forward. Things can be very difficult, challenging, and that's why also you've got the Wheel of Fortune here to spin things around. So what you've worked hard for is good, but pushing forward and tapping into an aspect of going beyond the illusion here, because you've got the world, the what's more. It's like Cinderella. I've lived like this, but what's out there? Wow, all that wonderment. And this is why emotionally going with the flow is very important. When we go with the flow, we're going in the direction of our life, because we've had this soul pamphlet or book, lots of books of how we want to live our life before we came here. So if we go with the stream instead of against the stream, we get there faster, smoother. So even though things have been challenging and you're trying to push forward, it's like being in charge of yourself. And this is very much with the rabbit. The rabbit is by itself. So going beyond illusion, going with the flow, but going with the change. With the Wheel of Fortune, it can bring us in that direction or that direction. But your situation at the moment, if it is a little difficult, just emotionally just go with the flow, because where it's going to take you is Cinderella being in that palace with her prince. And we all like that fairy tale. We don't know about complete endings, but the fairy tale is really good. But it does have a significance of what is an illusion at the moment and what is reality. So just go with the flow and see where it takes you, because where it takes you is really beyond all the hard work that you've put in. So Cinderella put in a lot of hard work. She was obedient, she was loyal, but she believed in the bigger picture. So this is why it's essential, just see where it's taking you. Oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. But in the clearing, it's going to bring you to that much positive, better place than before. This is why you've got the fairy of light bringing the light in the situation, and suddenly you go, oh yeah. So this is why I said pile 3 was great, because it's bringing you into that place of clarity, bringing you in a place of happiness when you're your own person. So it's by being truthful to yourself. So I love that. I absolutely love that. I really hope everyone picked pile 3. I wish you all the best today. Love and light. And as I say, if you press on the playlists, I do fairy meditations and visualizations with the animal cards. So lots of love to you. Please have a great day. Thank you.